Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Nye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. We're just over 3 weeks away from the start of the NASL regular season. We have plenty to talk about, including an Armada loss to the pesky Charleston Battery again. We'll have the highlights from Sunday's match and reaction from the coaches.
We will also have information about the regular season opener and some of the festivities planned for April 4th, and we'll also take a look at an emerging rivalry that hasn't seen one single match played between either sides.
Which is definitely going to be an interesting story. But let's start with Sunday's match against the Battery, who beat the Armada again. The Armada are now 2-2 in the preseason after an impressive victory over Philadelphia Union to start. The Armada went to Charleston Battery, lost 1-0. It was after a hard week of training, so we thought, hey, no big deal. And after beating an NASL side last weekend, a victory over Fort Lauderdale, the Armada certainly ready to turn in a better performance. But things do not always go according to plan.
Just a picture-perfect day weather-wise at Community First Park. Section 904 looking for some positives from the early goings. We just knew this was going to be a physical match in the very early stages. Guys going down left and right. Armada never could quite get the attack all in the same flow. Here's Jamal Johnson, the cross, a little too deep. Finally get a ball in the middle, but nobody can do anything with it, and it remained scoreless in the first half. It was only scoreless in the first half because of the excellent goalkeeping from David Sierra, who made plays like this rather routinely. 4 saves for Sierra. Keita looking for a chance here. The nutmeg going down the right side of the 18-yard box. Tell me, would you have called that a penalty? Keita didn't get the call, and so we were scoreless at halftime. When the second half began, opportunity here on a deep throw from Charleston, and the Battery take advantage. You don't often see a corner throw like that be treated like a corner kick. It was, and it delivered. Now watch this. Off the set piece, look at the far side near the top of the 6-yard box. Does that look like a penalty? Now the red shirt, the referee thought it certainly was, and it set up a PK for Charleston, and the Battery would take advantage, getting it past Miguel Gallardo, who came in the second half. Really no chance there for Miguel. And it is a 2-0 Charleston lead. The Armada finally putting in some of their regulars. Got a couple of opportunities late. Lucas Scaglia with a blast. Just never quite connected. The Armada lose it by the count of 2-0. Now 2-2 on the preseason, despite some of the coaches' experimentations early on.
We want, and Guillermo, ideas is the players, the move, the different, the plus, the position. Example, Marcos Flores, Sunday and play forward right. After center forward is after center middle o middle right o middle left.
La intensidad es esa que hoy entrenamos, ese es el objetivo principal de todo esto, ¿no? No es fácil porque bueno, es un equipo totalmente nuevo, de jugadores que bueno, se van incorporando.
You take a look at some of the numbers from Sunday's match, and you see a real disparity in terms of shots and shots on goal. The Armada with only 2 shots on goal in the entire match, none in the second half. It was a very physical contest as well, and while the Battery had more fouls, 3 yellow cards were issued to Armada players. The Armada now 2-2 in the preseason, both losses coming against Charleston.
Our fair and fair man of the match went to goalkeeper David Sierra. He was a key player in the Armada's defense on Sunday afternoon. As you can see, he was very aggressive on the ball, didn't hesitate to come out of the box, and saved several balls from going in. We've seen Sierra in action several times this preseason, but this was the first time he had been called on to start. And still several chances left to see the Armada FC in action before the season opener. Next weekend, they travel to Fort Lauderdale for a rematch against the Strikers. On March 28th, the Boys in Blue return to play the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then on April 4th, it's the NASL regular season opener at Everbank against FC Edmonton. Cole did mention that the coaches did a fair amount of experimentation on Sunday, including in the lineup, where Lucas Rodriguez was among those players getting their first starts of the preseason. Rodriguez was born in Argentina, moved to Kansas City as a teenager, and now with the Armada, he still plays with the same passion you would expect from someone who learned the game in South America.
While Jacksonville is just learning about co-head coaches Jose Luis Villarreal and Guillermo Hoyos, in Argentina they are well known. and that makes it extra special for the Argentinian-born midfielder.
Obviously, for me, it's a special. It's a privilege to be coached by such great coaches with their experience. The coaches, even Dario, they're idols in my country. They're known people, and to be able to learn from them and be able to work under their belt is a great experience, and I try to enjoy every moment I can.
Rodriguez has spent nearly as much of his life in the United States as he did in Argentina, but he still retains the South American passion for the game, talking about the construction of the team like assembling a symphony.
The idea, I think, is obviously we have leaders in the group, whether it's the captains or the coaching staff. They give us the notes, and we have to play them just like you would, if you were at a concert.
The Armada have had some tremendous highs in the preseason, but they've also experienced the kinds of fits and starts you would expect out of a first-year club. Rodriguez sees that as an indication that it's all about getting all the pieces in the right spot.
The coaches hopefully have a good problem at hand, which is, how do you fit those pieces together, because we have a lot of players with good experience and a lot of good talented players. So I think we've shown that we can come out and be strong at times. We're just trying to work towards being more consistent.
And while his home country passion is evident, Lucas also sees the strength of a global roster that includes players from Europe, South America, Africa, and yes, Jacksonville.
At the end of the day, I think we all push to be a win this league, and I think that's where, whether we're from Argentina or wherever the players are from, I think that's what we have that common goal.
Rodriguez and the rest of the Armada gearing up for the NASL opener on April the 4th. And the day promises to be something special. Not only will it be the official start of the season, but before the match, across the street from Everbank Field, it's the Can Do Beer Festival, featuring canned craft beers, plenty of music too, including the headliners OAR. Season ticket owners get into the festival for free. If you aren't a season ticket owner, you can purchase a ticket for both the festival and the match for $35. Go to candofest.com, that's with 2 O's, or call the Armada at 844-2ARMADA for tickets. It should be quite a day. Tyler Williams is a familiar face on soccer fields in Jacksonville. He won the national championship with Jacksonville United back in 2011, and he's taken part in the Armada since the developmental squad. Krissty Andaur has more with another of the Armada's homegrown players.
After making the cut at one of the Armada tryouts, Tyler Williams took part in the development squad for several months before finally signing his official professional contract last month.
It's amazing. It's definitely something I've always wanted to do, and something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. And just to be able to be here in Jacksonville and be playing professionally is just a dream come true.
Williams is now living that dream alongside a number of former JUFC teammates who've been playing by his side now for 4 years.
Like 3 or 4 of the guys that played on the national championship team were all on the same team. So it's definitely been good having them here and just kind of easing into things.
And as the inaugural season for the Armada approaches, Williams has several goals in mind that he's determined to achieve.
Just to be playing in as many games as I can and just making the biggest impact for this team, whether it's 5 minutes on the field or whatever, pushing people in practice.
All right, thank you, Krissty. Here's another great way to see the Armada. It's the double-header deal. Get 2 matches for one great price. The final preseason home match at Everbank Field against Tampa Bay Rowdies, March 28th. And the regular season opener against FC Edmonton on April the 4th. We're expecting big crowds for both matches. The last time the Armada played at Everbank Field, they set an NASL preseason attendance record. You won't want to miss these 2 matches.
And we're just getting started here on Armada Kickoff. Straight ahead, we'll head to Bob's boot room to see why the Armada struggled with the Battery.
And the Sunshine State soccer rivalry that suddenly got ramped up last weekend. Stick around, more Armada Kickoff when we come back. Sixteen-game season tickets are still on sale. Right now, you can get an interest-free monthly payment plan, invitation to special season ticket owner-only events. You get the 1-year deal or the 3-year ticket. If you do that, you'll get a personalized brick at the Armada FC Stadium. Tickets start at just $10 per match. Call 844-2ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Did you see the Orlando City MLS debut this weekend? They drew over 62,000 at the Citrus Bowl for their draw with NYCFC and the tifo. But wait, take a closer look. See the logos on the skulls? Those are the logos of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and the Armada. Isn't it great? The Orlando City supporters are already concerned about the Armada. They haven't even played a regular season game yet. Maybe the U.S. Open Cup will bring some opportunities for the two sides to match up. Checking the action around the NASL, the Carolina Railhawks won their first preseason match, beating Seoul Eland FC from South Korea on penalties. After a scoreless draw in regulation, Carolina scored 5 PKs to 4. The Ottawa Fury escaped the snow and got a win, topping Toronto FC 3-2 as they played indoors in Canada. Let's spend a minute now on another Canadian duo in the NASL, the Armada's season opening opponent, FC Edmonton. The Eddies will be spending most of the rest of the month in March in Northeast Florida, training in Ponte Vedra for nearly 3 weeks leading up to the regular season opener. Edmonton is the furthest north and furthest west team in the NASL. Last year, they were led by Lance Lang, who led the team with 7 goals and 6 assists. He's back this season. Last season, Edmonton notched a pair of victories against MLS sides, beating Montreal and the Seattle Sounders. Edmonton is coached by Scottish-born Canadian international Colin Miller. And in addition to facing the Eddies in the regular season opener, the Armada will also travel to Edmonton for Jacksonville's final road game of the fall season in late October. Get the heavy coats out. It's likely to be a bit chillier in Alberta than it is in Florida as Halloween approaches. Now let's head to Bob's Boot Room, presented by Nike. Here's Krissty with Bob Veal.
Thanks, Cole. Bob, it was a tough day out there on Sunday for the Armada against the Charleston Battery, and you got a chance to talk to the coaches, and they had a lot of positive things to say and a lot of different things to say. Take us through that.
Yeah, I think the first thing to say is that we take a lot of good things and feedback from defeats because we analyze the game a lot more as a coach. We look at what we were trying to do, what we experimented with, and they did experiment this week. They had 3 or 4 players out of position. They were looking to see how those players fitted in those positions. And that causes a few problems. And so, having spoken to the coaches, this was roughly what the problems were. Let's
take a look at the first clip.
All right, freeze it there. There. See, we've lost 1 player there's been beaten.
Joseph Toby. Yep.
Joseph Toby's been beaten. Along comes our midfield, our mid-defense. Matt Boehner has to come out and meet this guy, Matt Boehner, and then move it on from there, please. Matt Boehner gets beaten, and
David
the goalkeeper, very quick, David Sierra, very quick to go to the ground at the feet and to the feet. I'm sure the coaches are saying to these 2 players, this is not where we commit. We move them out. We know which foot they like to hit it on, so we just push them out to the side and close them down and close them down.
Right, let's take a look at a second clip.
Let's look at the second one here. This was a good play from Battery, but freeze it there. Look at the space we're giving them in this. Our defense is lying 10 yards off the guy at the back there, and that gives him a lot of room to size up, and to size up where he's going to put the ball. And also, we're very flat at the back there. We got 3 to the flat. He's got lots of time to put the ball through and carry on with the clip, please. And
again,
there's David Sierra again. He's
saving
out
them
quick, and he's to feet very quick. He makes decisions very quick.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one.
Let's have a look at, we're giving them this 10 yards. So here's the Battery guy. He's got 10 yards, being able, gives him lots of room to slot that ball through to this guy, who then runs in, and David Sierra has to come out. And our back 4 were very in line.
Right.
If you got one dropping back a bit, he can cover that ball. But we were very flat at the back on that. Lots of room to play the ball. And again, Sierra comes to feet, and that's again us leaving lots of space for them to play the ball in midfield. But the Battery are also very strong in defense.
Yeah.
They got the 4 players at the back, and these two guys they got here. They're very physical side.
Right. Well, hopefully, you know, we see much improvement in their training sessions, and now they play against Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
I think we will.
21st.
I think we'll take a lot from this game.
Right.
Look at the guys we put out of position, see how that worked, and we'll take a lot of positive things to move into the Fort Lauderdale
Absolutely.
game.
Thanks, Bob.
Krissty.
Cole?
All right, thanks, guys. Up next, it's the Analyst Roundtable. Mauricio Ruiz and David Hayes join us to discuss the lessons learned from the loss to Charleston. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
The Armada Social Rewards program is a great way to stay connected with the team via social media. And why not get rewarded for being active on social media? Just go online at armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, and start earning free stuff like jerseys, scarves, and even tickets to future matches. All you have to do is mention the Armada using your social media, like, tweet, tag, and earn prizes. Simple enough, right? Each week we pick a random winner, and this week's winner is Chase Carley. Congratulations. You've won 2 tickets to the Can Do Festival and the season home opener against FC Edmonton. Thanks for keeping up with the Armada via social media. And now let's head over to the roundtable. Cole?
All right, thank you, Krissty. Time now for the Analyst Roundtable, joined by Mauricio Ruiz and David Hayes. All right, guys, second time in the preseason that the Armada has lost to a USL squad, both times Charleston Battery. David, what gives?
I don't think anything gives. I think Anheuser does a good job at creating an environment where the whole team works together and they shift together, and it's very hard to break down. And both times we lost to Charleston, it was for different reasons. Travel was the first one, and then the second one was trying to get changing positions, changing everyone. The cohesiveness wasn't together. And I think we're all right, so I don't think anything gives. I think we're just experimenting.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it. That's what preseason's for, and it just happens that you're 2 losses against the same team. But that's just, that's just a coincidence. Charleston's been around for a long time. People forget, we're still finding our identity as a group. So I think this weekend was a big part of that. A couple guys out, a few guys, they got their opportunity. Who's going to play when guys are out? So this weekend was about, let's try something new. It just happened to be against the same opponent, so I wouldn't read into it too much.
What should the Armada take out of that match?
Well, they should take out that they're not a surprise to anybody anymore, right? I think the honeymoon phase is a little bit over now. And I know the season hasn't started, but the Armada is no longer a secret. The way that we play, the players that we have, so teams are gonna come in where, we just talked about a little before, when you play an MLS team and it's new in the season, we have that extra, emphasis to it. Now, everyone knows who we are. People are preparing for us. They have video. They know who our players are. So it's not a secret anymore.
No, and I think the coaching staff has to understand that there might be they might need to experiment in another formation to make sure that the players are prepared when things need to change. Yeah. And so that's what I think that they need to start doing is experiment. And the players that they have now have to understand that they might have to play a different role. And when they do that, they have to be prepared.
Yeah, everybody needs to understand some of the other pieces on the field and have different bodies in there. One of the different bodies that was in there as a starter was David Sierra in goal, who was the man of the match. Really, you see that kind of performance out of your number 2 goalkeeper, and we've seen what Gallardo can do. You have to feel pretty good about the goalkeeping situation.
See, right now, I don't think there's a number 1, number 2. I think there's 2 number 1s, and I think that's going to make the team better, them better. I think that is going to push both of them, and so I think in goalkeeper we're going to be very, very solid.
Yeah, I think it's a comfortable situation. You never want someone to go down, so knock on wood if Gallardo goes down. But when if he does, and many other positions on the field, we have a capable substitute. Not only a substitute, but someone that can, like you said, could be a number 1 at any point. So I think that's a positive thing.
I may be beating a dead horse a little bit here, but early on in the season, the scrimmage against New York Red Bulls, the match against the Philadelphia Union, a lot of goals being scored by the Armada in short bursts of time. Now, only 1 goal in the last 2 matches. What's changed? Should we be concerned about that?
Yeah, I don't think it is a concern. But once again, teams are they're not silly. They know how to prepare against us. So they know Armada, they're going to overpossess, they're going to keep the ball a little bit. So teams prepare defensively to play against us. They know that we can have the ball, give us the ball, but they're going to sink in. And playing against the Red Bulls, playing against the other MLS teams, they weren't sure who we were. So they just try to play. They're early in preseason as well. So once again, it's just a problem that the coaches are accustomed to. They're going to figure out a system, how to break teams down. And like you mentioned, maybe you have to change a couple things around.
Yeah, when they're moving around the ball, and they're in the offensive half, they got to speed up the play. And when you're changing things around, it doesn't work that way. But what I do know is I wouldn't be worried because once a forward starts finding the net, it's just going to keep coming, And so I think we're fine.
We'll be keeping an eye out to see when those forwards start to really get into a groove as the regular season approaches. David Hayes, Mauricio Ruiz, thanks so much. All right, when we come back, more on Armada Kickoff, including a first for the Armada. Stick around, more to come straight ahead.
Spring spring season half packs are now on sale from just $12 a match. It includes the March 28th match against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It also includes the rest of 5 home spring matches at Community First Park and Everbank Field. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com.
Well, it's been quite a week of recovery for the Armada after the loss to the Charleston Battery. We'll have the very latest, of course, each and every week on radio, Fridays, 3 o'clock on Sports Radio 930. Bob Veal joins me for the Armada Soccer Show. Krissty has the NASL report there as well. And the next chance to see the Armada play at home will be, for most folks, on the 28th of March against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. But it has been a year of firsts, as it will be. First preseason game, big success against the Philadelphia Union. We'll have the first regular season game, April the 4th, against the FC Edmonton coming to town. And there's some other firsts. Yeah, the first team photo was taken at Community First Park this week. Got the guys together. This will be one of those things that in 10 or 15 or 20 years we'll be looking back on and, oh yeah, remember this guy? Oh yeah, he wound up playing for the U.S.
Mark
National Team.
Frisch was there.
Mark Frisch, yeah. Dario Sala, the general manager you see there, the coaches, players, all there lined up at Community First Park at the baseball grounds. And it was funny to see some of the personalities of the guys coming out within this. Some guys, you know, very much want to just have that serious face. They took some smiling. Some guys had a harder time with a serious face than others.
And then there was like Sean Nicola was joking, laughing.
Yeah, Pascal Million, there you see on the right, who is always smiling. So great time at Community First Park. Now let's check out some highlights from the Armada loss to Charleston as we send you out here. We'll see you next week right here on Armada Kickoff.
Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Eye & Associates, Ruiz Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.